Hello and welcome to the Human Design Guide. My name is Talis, and today I would like to read an article that I wrote a few days ago, and it's about transitoriness. Yeah, it's about a channel, the channel 3635, that we have in the transit right now, and it will be a theme for the next upcoming year after the 21st of January. But more about this in a second. If you like the video, leave a comment, and please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Let's just jump right into it. Have you already sensed that the air is quite emotional and fiery? At least you could interpret it that way, as we have had channel 3635 in transit for some time. Gate 36 since 30th of September and gate 35 since 2nd of December. And this will not be dissolved until the end of January. Incidentally, this also means that the upcoming Rave New Year, starting on 21st of January at around 1910 UTC, will carry the theme of this channel. So the whole year will carry the emotional theme of this channel. This also means that a lot of manifestors will be born next year. According to Adrian Kobler's statistics, up to 40% and only about 5% generators, because we have the design 88 degrees before the time of birth, obviously. And some thought the time of the manifestors is actually over. But for the new era, after 2027, we will still need a few impulse givers and door openers, because the projector does not have the capacity for this, even if he or she is supposed to be the new leader. However, today I would like to look at this deeply emotional channel and explore what we can all perceive through the transit right now. What could be the theme next year, and of course, how you as a person can better deal with this channel. Let's start by looking at the gates of this channel individually and breaking them down. This channel is composed of gate 35 and gate 36. So let's start with gate 36. And when we look at this, we can gather up lots of information for understanding, like this is a gate in the solar plexus center and it's in the abstract circuit and so on. Gate 36. In the old I Ching, it's called the darkening of the light. In the Rave I Ching, it's called the gate of crisis. The rule of cycles, in which decline is a natural but not enduring stage. The harmonic gate obviously is gate 35, the gate of change, and the opposition in the wheel, if you are into this, is gate 6. I prepared some overview because I created the Human Design card deck this year. It went into production and is almost sold out. Nevertheless, I put you on the screen here a nice slide that you can see the card front and the card back, where you have all the information that I am using to describe this gate. So if we look at all this information, including that on the cards obviously, then we can learn a lot about this gate. I've keynoted it with 2 short sentences like this. The potential of transforming inexperience, vulnerability, into a new experience, also sexually, which sparks crisis through strong emotionality, hoping to fulfill desires. It's about the light at the end of the tunnel. The emotional wave that creates and meets the challenges of change and growth through emotional crisis. So we have an abstract collective gate that has a desire drive to make new experiences, not alone, but with others. We also have a strong wave hoping for light at the end of the tunnel of the experience. This gate can be very destabilizing, especially for others, as far as I know, and also has a strong connection to lust and sex, bringing with it a certain juiciness. After all, it's the gate of fucking. But one often feels emotionally inadequate here, means inexperienced, and therefore gets nervous very quickly. I always see people with this gate or with the whole channel as being very nervous, especially when they are with other people. Within this gate, we can find the wisdom of the rule of cycles, in which decline is a natural but not enduring stage. This means we have a strong high and low here, a wave that goes from sky high to gray and gloomy and back again. And of course, a crisis is sparked here, because everything new is unknown at first and can also go wrong. Just because the fantasy from gate 41 finally finds an application here, it doesn't have to be as beautiful as expected. First of all, the light is dimmed because you don't know what will happen. But you will have high expectations, which is very normal for this circuit. The trick, however, is to remain expectation-free, because only then can you experience all the crises impersonally. Sex with another person is nothing personal here. It's about the experience itself. And now, let's look at the harmonic gate 35, which is located at the throat center and therefore has a completely different function. Gate 35 in the old I Ching is called progress, and in the Rave I Ching, the gate of change. By design, progress cannot exist in a vacuum and is dependent on interaction. Obviously, harmonic gate is gate 36, and the opposition is gate 5, the fixed patterns. Again, I will give you an overview by displaying you the card front and the card back, so you can just stop the video and read on your own if you like. By the way, if you still are feeling for getting a card set, you can contact me, but there's also a nice sleek booklet that I released on Amazon.com. I will put the links for both in the description. Again, we can look at all the information and find out a lot about the nature of this gate. I've keynoted it again with 2 short sentences, and it goes like this. The potential to express progress based on emotional experiences, including sexual ones, and often says here, I am bored because there is an urge for change. The vocal expression or action of restless curiosity and high expectations to explore new horizons with others, with the voice of I feel, I experience or not. Of course, this is also a collective gate in the abstract circuit, but this time it wants to express itself, its throat center, and this expression has manifesting power, so it can turn into an action. It also means that this gate has an impact and can meet resistance. One would like to bring the new experience to an end in order to manifest a change. Actually, the goal is never important, just as little as the way itself. It's more about something being over, because only then one can find out whether it was good or bad. That's why we don't find people here who can say whether they liked a movie immediately after seeing it or not. It all needs time to reflect. Nevertheless, gate 36, the gate of crisis, brings the emotional desire and power, and gate 35 then brings it into fulfillment, to expression. It is also exciting that we have a correlation with the amino acid tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid and the physiological precursor of serotonin. This is used in medicines to help patients fall asleep. So it makes sense that the experience finds fulfillment here. It is the peak, and then the wave goes down again to reflect the experience. It's like an orgasm. The tension rises and rises, and suddenly it's over, and you become relaxed and often tired. Some people I know with this gate often say, I am bored. I even know this from my childhood, which probably had something to do with the fact that my mom has this gate and I was conditioned by it. Because I often said, I'm bored, and nowadays, not living in the aura of my mother, I don't really say that. Another typical thing people with this gate say is, I've been there, done that. Yeah, what to do? They already had the experience. The message of wisdom here is that progress cannot exist in a vacuum and is dependent on interaction, which means that progress and experience cannot happen alone. It needs a counterpart. So as far as I know, those are people who really like to initiate others into a new experience. Now we know the gates, but a channel is a new thing, and that means it stands for itself. This channel, as we have already learned through its components, brings the possibility of making new experiences, expressing them, and also reflecting on them. Channel 3635 is the channel of transitoriness. It's a design of a jack of all trades. Here, too, I have taken the liberty to keynote a short sentence for your understanding based on the information and my experience. This is an emotional manifesting channel that defies logic's caution and restrictive patterns, as it is the mirror of channel 4816. It will try anything and everything, whether of intrinsic value or not, to get things moving in the direction of a new experience. Those are people who are poor in meeting the expectations of their own minds or of others. Also, I want to share some notes of mine with you so that we have a bit more information for grasping this specific quality. Here we have a deep talent for adventure. It wants always something new. There's a drive to constantly seek out new experiences in life. Here we gather wisdom through experience. Also, it's sexual talent. Obviously, it starts with sexual inadequacy, the opposite of talent, but it can get to the point of being sexually talented. Just look at the mirror, the 4816, where we have the channel of talent. So, okay, on the other side, this is not about survival. This is more about pleasure and lust and sex. So, we can have a sexual talent here. This channel is doing things, doing it because of the experience and not of the result. And it says, I've been there, done that, because it knows, I already done that. And that's important. They cannot do the same thing again. They shouldn't do the same thing again. So no experience here is really personal. Again, sex is not about the person here. It's about the experience, about the new thing that can be experienced with maybe this person that happens to be the partner or the one-night stand or whoever. Making experiences should serve the collective because we have a collective channel. So this channel will share its experiences in the sense of making experiences with others, but also sharing the experiences, the reflection of the experience with the collective. And that will help the collective. I'll give you a good example, if we wouldn't have this people, we would never know what mushrooms we could eat, so to say. They just try stuff. Experience should be shared and stories should be told. This is, if our ancestors wouldn't share stories, we would know nothing. The motto here is, I feel it's time for a change. It wants to end the boredom. It often feels bored. It's about manifesting change. It's about manifesting progress. And obviously this is not always welcome, especially not by the tribe. But that's a different story. So here, this channel brings transitory, change, variety, also restlessness. Here we find the drama king and the drama queen. In other words, Channel 3536 embodies a deep desire for adventure and a constant search for new experiences. People with this channel do not act to achieve results, but to have the experience. The experience takes center stage. They can often proudly say, I have been there, I've done that. They are driven by an inner urgency that motivates them to overcome boredom and constantly seek variety. The channel brings with it a transformative energy that manifests change, diversity, and progress. The experiences they collect serve not only themselves, but also their collective. They want to share their experience, tell their stories, and inspire others. No experience is truly personal, not even intimacy. It's always about the bigger picture and the value the experience brings to the community, to the collective. A good example is trying a new psychedelic drug and then sharing with the collective what the experience was like. People with this channel bring a certain drama to life. They can be perceived as a drama king or drama queen, but this emotionality underlines their ability to initiate change, gather wisdom, and make the world a more colorful and vibrant place through their adventures and discoveries. The motto is, I feel it's time for a change. Do you have this channel? Let me know in the comments if you do feel like it's time for a change. You already know that this channel is in the transit right now. If you don't know what the transit is, this is the global weather, so to say. You can check it on bodygraph.io. There's a little tool. You can see that there is a transit and this channel is activated right now. Everybody is conditioned with this energy and you can sense it and feel it, and we will look into this for a bit right now. So because of this, we also know that many people will be born with this channel next year. This means there will be many children to ensure progress, which will not always be easy with this strong emotional wave, especially not for the parents. It's also interesting to look at what the current transit, but perhaps also the theme of the new year, means for you personally. if you do not have the channel yourself, and especially if your solar plexus center is undefined, means it's not colored, it's white, it's blank. First of all, one will suddenly have access to the emotional field, which also means that this emotional energy can be felt and expressed in an intense and distorted way. So everything that is connected with the emotional realm becomes much more intense and fiery. You might react much more emotionally and wonder where that came from. You might feel nervousness, be irritated, or experience other physical symptoms. For example, pressure on your chest, or a tense nervous system, or you sweat a lot, or you shout more, you get easily more emotional and aggressive, or whatever the case may be. Apart from that, you will suddenly have more of an urge to experience something new. You might get bored of the things you actually like. You might end a relationship based on this drive, or sprout into a sexual experience that isn't really right for you. And how could this channel affect society? If everyone experiences this energy collectively, then of course the whole thing is lived out in a totally distorted way, because only 50% of humanity is emotionally defined and can deal with this energy consistently at all. So for all undefined people, this is a rather exhausting time, regardless of whether you are in the experiment or not. This emotional energy cannot simply be ignored. It will be present wherever you go. And then there's also this gatherings with people, Christmas is over now, but New Year's Eve's coming, and people usually gather up, family meets, eats together, whatever the case may be. So you should really think twice, or better check with your inner authority about meeting up with people, family, when there's such a fiery background frequency. Overall, there may be an atmosphere of change. Many people may simultaneously feel that it is time for change, which can be both inspiring and chaotic. Everyone suddenly craves progress and jumps in at the deep end, which doesn't always end well. This energy can easily lead to drama. Conflicts could become more emotional and intense as people react more strongly and more likely to act out of the wrong emotions, fake emotions, so to say. And the search for new experiences could lead to risky or rash actions. People may try things they would never dare to do otherwise, which can bring both positive surprises and difficulties. There could be widespread dissatisfaction with the old, leading to abrupt changes or movements, both individually and collectively. It would be really exciting to do surveys at times like this to see what physical symptoms people are experiencing globally at this time. Well, last but not least, we should look at how best to deal with this energy. Of course, we have to differentiate between undefined solar plexus and defined solar plexus, especially people with this channel. However, the most important thing for all emotional people is not to act impulsively. No spontaneous acts. It is worth waiting to reflect and feel your own emotions. And for all undefined people, it is important to understand that these strong emotions are not a stable basis for decisions. In human design, we say that 9 out of 10 emotions are not yours when your solar plexus is undefined. So you might ask yourself whether the desire for change is really yours or just a temporary urge. It often helps to simply wait and see for all of us. With splenic or sacral authority, you have the possibility to act in the now, but you still need to wait until the right moment. Just pay attention to whether the origin of your activity is nervous pressure or not. And of course, it is also a great time to be receptive to this energy, to understand it and not fall into its trap. So you can become wise here about the transitory nature of emotions and life. There's always a high and a low. Everything passes in the end. And you will certainly also be able to feel and see where you need progress, where you yourself are perhaps still inexperienced, and so on. The most important thing will still be to follow your strategy and authority so that you don't get caught up in this emotional chaos. I hope you liked this article that I wrote for you and now read out loud. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. I wish you a happy new year, even if the Rave New Year doesn't happen until the end of January. Bye for now.